Hi there, guys. It's Al here from Grumpy Grognard Gaming. I am here with Matt.
Hello.
There he is. And it's time for another episode of CHEBS, which is a pair of tits chatting hobby, endless bollocks, and stuff. Genius. Absolute genius. Sponsorship from Hooters in progress.
Well, there is one near you, so
There is, yeah, one of the only ones in Essex. Sorry, in Essex? I'm not in Essex
UK.
anymore. I came down to Essex the other week, and then I went back up to the Midlands.
Clearly it's left a mark on you.
Clearly, well, in the way that Essex does. The kind of marker can only be removed with bleach and much scrubbing. It wasn't too bad. And to be fair, that'd be the last time ever that we're going to visit Wayland.
Southend.
Wayland.
Oh, Wayland, yeah.
Wayland Hockley. Oh no, I'll be back down to Watchford at least for the wedding next year. But Wayland Hockley is going.
Yeah, in a week.
I heard that soon next week. Jesus,
30th,
man.
it was 30th, yeah.
That's one hell of a logistical move because they've got the production facility and everything to move.
Yeah.
Like when I worked at Wayland and they brought the plastic machine in, they brought it in the back of an Arctic and moved it with a fucking crane.
I'm not surprised.
It weighs tons. It was green. We called it the Hulk. So it's one hell of a logistical move just to move the warehouse with all the stock, let alone the production facility, because obviously they make all the plastic and all the resin, everything on site.
Yeah, so they're closing like their I think the shop facility is staying open because of course it is.
That's where the money is.
Well, yeah, but the gaming area is closing and they're not going to open a new place until April.
Also, the other thing you need to bear in mind there, part of that reason may well be that in order to get a discount from GW, you have to have a brick and mortar shop. The second you don't have a brick and mortar shop, GW will refuse to give you your 45% discount or whatever the hell it is.
Gotcha.
So that may well be another reason for them leaving the store open, because there can't be any crossover when there's not one open, if you know what I mean.
Yeah.
So that wouldn't surprise me. As much as Wayland does a lot of other stuff, they do need GW to survive to a certain point. I don't think that any seller could afford to not sell Games Workshop stuff and try and get by. But we've got a few things to discuss today because a few things have actually happened within GW. But how have you been for the last week, mate? Been all right?
Yeah, not too bad. Not too bad. Actually got a game of Legions Imperialis in.
Nice.
Friday?
Yes, it was.
Against Farmer Neil.
Against Farmer Neil.
Shout out to the Skull Farmer.
Did you get in a full game, or was this one of your infamous 2-turn games?
No, we got 4 turns in.
Nice.
But because I'd brought my Astartes and Solar Auxilia for Neil to use, because all this stuff's still on the sprue and whatnot.
Yep.
I had a ton of packing up to do, so we kind of called it a little bit early at 10 o'clock, and then we just had a chat while I slowly put everything back away again.
Cool. Okay.
2 full KR cases.
Yeah, no, that's not too bad. Not too bad. I mean, if you get a full game out of the way, it's better than we used to do 40k at the end of the day.
Yeah.
So that'll be your last ever game at
Wayland.
Wayland Hockley.
Unless I get down there this week at some point.
Yeah.
I mean, like because Mush is going away for a school trip for the last half of the week, so I won't be doing the bedtime routine, so I'll be free.
Okay, fair enough. Maybe try and squeeze one more in. Nice.
Yeah,
nice.
I've not arranged anything with anyone, so probably not.
Yeah, fair enough. No, that's cool. I got a game of I think Zombicide, X-Men Zombicide in with the missus, and that was about it really.
Oh, cool.
Watching lots of movies, so I went to see Batman Begins, and then we saw A New Hope at the cinema on Sunday, and that was amazing because that's the last time I saw Star Wars: A New Hope at the cinema would have been like 1994.
I don't think I ever have.
Special editions. My dad worked for the press because he worked for News International. We got a special family press screening type thing, so we saw it a few months before it even came out of the cinema.
Oh, so nice.
That was awesome. So even though it's a special edition and not the original theatrics, it's got all the stupid stuff that George Lucas added in my opinion, A New Hope gets away with it more than the other ones do, if you excuse Han Solo shooting at the same time. It's the update version, so it didn't look too bad. So, that happened. Other than that,
and him trying to style out calling Jabba a human being.
Yeah, I mean, I just took that as a bit of sarcasm, to be honest. But even the bit when he walks over his tail looks to have been smoothed out. So I don't know if maybe something's been done. I think part of the contract that George Lucas signed, that accursed contract, forbade Disney from messing about with his version. But I don't know if it's just a Mandela effect. Yeah, the good shit. Yeah, I don't know if it's just the Mandela effect, and like I'd realised it was worse than I thought. I don't know if I was just so happy to be seeing it on screen again. It didn't really seem so bad to me, so dodgy. But yeah, so that happened, and then as I say, GW announced a load of stuff, so we're going to talk about that. So the first thing we're going to mention is that Warhammer Day is apparently coming. Yay, I guess. Because
it's always interesting.
Well, because it's in the UK, it's actually at a decent time, so I haven't got to get up at dick o'clock in the morning. So it's at 5 p.m. UK time, which for you crazy Americans, it's on screen now. I don't know what that means. I have no idea what JST is. Japanese Standard Time?
I've never heard of it.
1
I don't need to hear of it. I'm
1 a.m.
English. We don't need to hear of it.
We don't. It's that BST one's the one we're interested in. That's 5 p.m. But there's the times for you other guys. Saturday the 5th of October. So I think that's the day before I see the Joker sequel, which I'm going to review for my other my film review channel, which is doing quite well. But there's your times for you. But what's interesting on here is that one there that says Warhammer 40,000. For some reason, the cursor's not appearing on screen because, screw you, basically. So, yeah, this first one here that shows Warhammer 40,000 is very interesting because if you remember, when GW did their painfully prophetic roadmaps, they said there was nothing else coming for the rest of the year for Warhammer.
Yeah. Yep. They were just like LOL, AOS, and other stuff. No 40k, sorry.
Exactly. But according to
we were both like, yeah, whatever.
Yeah, I mean,
got 30k and Legion, so we're okay.
Pretty much. Like, I mean, that's the other thing that I want to mention in a second. But there's nothing here for Warhammer 40,000. So there was nothing in the roadmap for Warhammer 40,000. As you say, it was quite literally like, lol, that's it. Warhammer 40,000 is taking a break for the rest of the year. It was like, hang on a second. There's still 3 months to go for the rest of the bloody year. But yeah, so something for Warhammer 40,000 is going to be shown off, regardless. Whether or not it's something that is actually coming in the new year or not, I don't know. But these preview shows don't tend to be more than 3 months in advance.
No.
Although obviously with GW, everything is, liable to change in some way or another. So something for Warhammer 40,000 is coming. That's nice. Then we've got Age of Sigmar. Yeah, obviously, it's just going to be the next army thing for Age of Sigmar, whatever that may be.
It might be demons for 40k, given that they're in the join us for Warhammer Day picture, which is a bit obvious.
Yeah, I mean,
so's the Horned Rat. So...
Yeah, they've said it's a year of chaos, as evidenced by the Great Horned Rat joining the big leads of the pantheon of Chaos Gods in Warhammer Age of Sigmar. I mean, that happened like 10 years ago now. That's always been a thing. So, obviously, anything that Zinch is missing, and they've put Slanesh in there. Yeah, you've got something coming for Age of Sigmar. I'm not terribly interested, although I'm sure the models will look okay.
Yeah.
Kill Team. Well, I did a video about Kill Team, a piss take special, because those new Kill Team boxes are absolutely ridiculous.
Feels like what, just under 50 quid each?
Yeah.
That's joking.
£47.50 for 10 scouts because you get some tokens with it now, and I'm like, that's fine for the people who play Kill Team and want those tokens, I suppose. But what about the people who just want 120 points scout squad for Warhammer 40,000? You want them to pay 50 quid?
Yeah.
Lol. And it's even worse for like Dark Eldar mandrakes and stuff. It's like, no, why didn't you just put those tokens in the card packs as well? Because if you want the card packs, clearly you are actually paying Kill Team. So... And then, because the card packs are limited anyway, so they're going to sell out, because they always do, because people buy them and scalp them. But, the tokens aren't that important. They're not important enough for you to bump the cost up. I don't understand what you're doing, GW. I really don't understand. Why don't you just do some generic tokens with the rule book?
Makes more sense.
And then at least people have got the option.
The tokens.
Yeah, exactly. It's just a way of just bumping the price up again, and I'm sure there's just no way I'm paying 50 quid for 10 scouts. That is absolutely insane.
Yeah, no thanks.
Absolutely mental. So yeah, there'll be something shown off for Kill Team, and obviously it's the third edition for their new game, and they're going to carry on doing that. And although previously I was quite happy, and I was always like, oh, I wonder what 40k squad they're going to do with Kill Team next, you know, to get them redone, to get them done. Now I'm like, I'm not that interested because it's going to come out and it's going to be insanely expensive. Like those Vespid in the Hivestorm box, I was like, they're really nice. I might have got those just as something to paint in the future.
Yeah.
But if they come out at £47.50, that's going to be very much like, no, basically. And I know it's just these stupid little tokens that are pumping up, and it's probably only bumping up by like a 5 for what they normally do, but I'm just...
It's bonkers.
That's out of the way. Legions Imperialis, I think we can probably assume that this is going to be the Mechanicum box set. So let's have a look at that real quickly, because it has leaked. So before we go back to this preview, let's mix it up. And you had a nice higher definition one than the one I put in the video, which wish I'd known before I did that video, because clearly Facebook or whatever just butchered the quality.
Yeah.
Even though this picture is on Facebook, it's not been butchered, thankfully. So you can actually read things, and we can see that it is indeed 8 Thanatar mana.
Which is
that's a lot.
Thanatar.
That's a lot. I would not have expected this box set, which I may well get, even though I don't really play Legions Imperialis, but I would not have expected this box set to have twice as many Thanatars as it does Triorus.
No.
Transports.
It's a very odd...
Indeed.
An odd bunch of numbers. Like the rest of the stuff looks fine. I was quite surprised to see like the Magos Prime on an Abayant. Well,
yes,
2 of them.
That's awesome.
I'm like, why is there 2? Like
there's 2 because there's 2 sprues.
Yeah. I think it's probably because I don't like the look of them when they're on an Abayant, but it's going to be far more effective than having them on foot.
Yes, exactly.
Yeah, but
it's a nice big model. It makes me wonder: are we going to get this in plastic now? Because I'm guessing that everything in this box set we are going to get in plastic for the Heresy.
Don't get me started on the Arlatax. It's been like 2 editions of Heresy.
Oh man,
it's never had a model until like right now, and I'm like, oh my god!
I meant to have the screenshot ready of the chat in our hobby bullshit chat of you just going Arlatax.
Finally, fuck! And the funny thing is, it looks very much like one that I 3D printed.
Confessions from Mauler right there.
To be fair, right, I'm not taking any money from Games Workshop.
If you can't,
don't do a model for it,
dude. If you can't buy it, what can you do? We've said this in the past. If they're not going to make it available, you've got no other recourse. Yes, you were very excited about the Arlatax. So yeah, I mean, you've got 2 sprues. I mean, it's going to be, I would imagine, 5 Tech Thralls, 1 Tech Priest Auxilia, 1 Archmagus Prime on Abayant. What else do you think would be in that? So you're going to get the 2 Myrmidians. That's going to be in a troop set. Maybe the 4 Phalanx, and that's your entire sprue, I would say.
I think it's just going to be maybe half of everything. Like, I don't know. It's quite tricky trying to work out what the Force Org chart is for these guys, because they, like, for 30k and Imperialis, they don't directly match up, because I kind of went through and compiled like a list earlier today in a rare moment of an industry, and like HQs and troops are usually quite easy to sort out, because obviously if you look at Astartes, you've got Legion Command, which is an HQ, and it's clearly a Praetor and a command squad, so that's an HQ in 30k as well. Rhinos are transports, and then dedicated transports. Termites are the same. Land Raiders are transport in Legions. Heavy support in 30k. Spartans the same. Drop pods are transports, dedicated transports. Tactical Marines are core in Legion, so they're the troop equivalent. And then the troops in 30k, obviously. Tactical support detachment, which in Legions Imperialis is the plasma gun guys. They're a support choice.
Okay.
But in Heresy, they're troops. But they're a support squad, so you can't take more of them than you can normal troops.
Okay. Yep.
Then you've got like a heavy support detachment, which is support, and then heavy support in Heresy. An assault detachment is support in Legions, but troops in Heresy.
Right. Okay.
So not all troops for like the 30k proper chunky tabletop game translate over to be a core choice for Imperialis.
No. And with this army, I mean, it doesn't look like there's going to be a lot of fast moving options or transport options for most of the stuff anyway. Certainly very light on tanks.
It'll be, I mean, like the Mechanicum have only got like 4 tanks if you include the Trioros. So you've got the Trioros.
Yep.
There's an assault kind of mortar tank variant of it called the Karachnos.
That's right, yeah.
And then
you've got the big Destructor one, haven't you? It's got 2 chassis on it.
Oh, but that's like a Lord of War. That's like the Ordinatus.
Right, yeah, the Ordinatus.
And there's 2 of those, and they're basically like they're Titan killers.
Yeah.
So we may see those. It's a bit of a niche choice, but it's kind of their equivalent of like a Shadow Sword.
Exactly, yes, they're super heavy, isn't it? Because
but a lot bigger.
No sign of that in here.
No. But then you've got the 2 Krios variants, which are kind of like they're basically assault guns, but they use them as heavy support battle tanks. So
you might see those at some point.
Yeah, hopefully.
But I mean, obviously that 4 Traorus, that's going to be 1 box. That's 1 box there, I reckon.
Yeah, definitely. Definitely. And then I think some of them might be like an infantry box, and then the other one will be like a support box, like they did for the other 2.
This is what I'm thinking. I'm thinking you've got an infantry box. It's going to be Tech Thralls, maybe your Phalanx and all your Myrmidians, and then the Tech Priests.
Thalax, maybe the Tech Priests, although technically they're elite choices.
But I don't see them having a separate sprue. And then I think you'll get a support box, which would be like the Ursarax, the Domitar, the Castellax, the Vorax, and the Arlatax. Now, I don't know where these Voltrax automators come in, because
they'll be their air support choices.
That's what I'm talking about.
They will be.
There's
they'll come in as support, I think.
So you only get 1 of those per sprue, which is a bit weird. So it's the Thanatar. I don't know if the Thanatar are coming in. I'm wondering if the Thanatar are maybe just 4 to a box on their own.
Maybe, yeah.
Because they may well be quite a lot of pieces there. And then that's 1, 2, 3 for your Traeros, 4, 5, 6, 7 boxes total.
Yeah.
So obviously the retail on that's going to be like 220 quid. So maybe do the whole thing as a box set for 150.
Yeah, probably. I mean, I think it's going to be the equivalent of their other 2.
Yeah, it's going to be the Battle Force, isn't it? But
I think they're about 120 off the top of my head.
They are about 120. I think there's a bit more in this one though. It's that 8 Thanatar that's thrown me, man. If it hadn't been, I don't know if it's maybe even a misprint. But if it hadn't said 8 Thanatar, I'd be like, yeah, for sure. But
4 makes a lot more sense.
4 makes a lot more sense. So yeah, I think that's what we're looking at there. But anyway, I expect that to be fully shown off at this preview, which at the end of the day is in 2 weeks.
Is it 2 weeks?
2 weeks, yeah. Well, just under 2 weeks. It's not next Saturday; it's the Saturday after. Yeah.
So yeah, I mean, I expect them to mention this in a bit more detail later this week.
What, in the Heresy Thursday?
Yeah, because when someone leaks something, whether it's Games Workshop doing a sneaky or whether it's a third party that's done it, they always seem to follow it up with a proper announcement to give people proper info relatively sharpish.
What they'll do is they'll do 1 or 2 things. They will either show off these models or they'll show off the book that is coming, and I suspect it might be the book. I think they'll mention the book that this is all coming in and leave this for the preview.
To be fair, they should have put all this stuff in like the fucking Martian Civil War book.
Yes, they should, but this is GW, so we all know what they do there. The other thing that I want to mention about this preview is that there is no Horus Heresy.
No, it made me a bit sad, but hey, we've got Imperialis on there, so I'm cool with that.
So there's going to be no new edition that we were talking about or anything like that. If that's going to happen, that's going to be next year.
Yeah.
Because obviously, I mean, I was going to do a video about it, but I didn't in the end. I'm working on the Worms board game review at the moment. That's nearly done. I just need to get some Worms game sound bites to chuck into the review.
I hear you.
Exactly, yeah.
Fast blood.
That's so good.
But the other thing that I thought might be happening for Black Friday that I don't think is going to happen now is Space Hulk, because obviously we are on the 35-year anniversary.
Would be nice.
And I think it's a bit short notice, and it'd be a bit left wing for them to do it now.
You mean left field?
Bit out of left field. I'll edit that bit out. Bit out of left field. If it was left wing, then they'd love it.
Yeah, it wouldn't be very common of them to introduce Space Hulk.
It wouldn't. Although there'll be, if they're Blood Angels again, it'll be red. So no, that's fine. That's fine, right? Just put sickles and hammers on them. But anyway, in all seriousness, everybody starves. No, Agri Worlds. In all seriousness,
don't tell Talon.
I don't think that there would be Space Hulk now. I mean, that's too much to hope for.
It's a bit late. I mean, Black Friday's what? It's the 4th of November. Is it the fourth?
It's the fourth Friday. Yeah, fourth Friday in November. Yeah, it's the week after Thanksgiving because it's like
American stuff.
Exactly, it's all American.
Not overly familiar.
And obviously,
around like Easter.
GW don't do sales or anything like that. They normally release something. They just normally release something special, like either an army box or a game of some description.
Their army boxes are their version of a sale, and for the big boxes, it tends to work.
Yes, yeah, exactly. Because I had a look at previous years, and it was like I think it was Legion Imperialis last year, but then before that it was a Cadian box set of some description, and then the year before that it was something I can't remember. I did look it up. The other thing I want to mention here, though, is that looks very much like a new Warhammer Underworlds logo to me.
It does. I noticed that.
And we all thought that Underworld was going away.
Turns out it's probably getting a new edition.
This would suggest otherwise. So whether or not it's going to be a big change up from the original format or not, I don't know. But that's interesting to me because although I don't play a lot of Underworlds, even though I've got like over 2,000 cards, from getting the warband. Yeah, because I get all the warbands.
Jesus.
And each warband comes with like about 100 cards. But I get the warbands just to paint them because they're lovely palette cleansers.
Yeah.
So like I've painted 50 Space Marines. If I paint Ultramarine blue again, I'm going to kill somebody. So I'm going to unalive somebody in Minecraft YouTube. I'll paint this Warhammer Underworlds warband and it'll be something completely different. So I can do something and then get back into, the other painting afterwards. So certainly intrigued by that. Are you doing anything on that Saturday, dude?
I don't know. I'll have to check.
Because I think we should do like a live reaction thing. It looks like it might actually be worth doing. Whether or not we stream it or not, I don't know.
People don't care.
Yeah, well, I mean, I'm just thinking if we stream it, then it saves me having to record it later. And I have got Streamlabs or StreamYard or whatever the hell it's called. And we'll just do it for OBS. So it'll be like this. It'll just literally be this video playing here. And then we'll just comment on it basically. And that's it. That's what
deserve to see our faces?
No, not till we get to 1,000 subs.
Once was enough. A face reveal.
Face reveal on 1,000 subs.
Okay, how cliche.
Yeah, I mean, you've got this little rat thing down the bottom here, and that just made me think of Cursed City, but I can't see them doing another board game. So maybe this is from the Underworld set.
Yeah,
maybe from the Underworlds, they're going to do like a little Skaven warband or something. It's got that textured base that you would expect to see for Underworlds.
Yeah.
And I'm all over
at the moment.
Yeah, exactly. I'm all over Underworlds anyway, so I'd be down with that. So yeah, hopefully there's going to be some cool stuff.
Yeah, the logo looking a little bit more comic-y is an interesting turn.
What, the Underworlds one?
Yeah,
kind of. I think it's just more. It's more clean. I think that's where I describe it. Really, it stands out a lot more to me, that Underworlds logo. If you slapped that on a box, I would expect to see it a bit more. So I'm just wondering, what might happen. Obviously, the cards is the expensive bit of it for them. So I don't know if maybe they're going to take it into an app or something like that. That might be a thing that they do because they did. We'll get to it real quickly, but they did say there's a big change coming this week, and I don't know what that's going to be. So, yeah, I mean, that potentially looks like a half decent preview to me. I think we will stream the reaction because these CHEBS videos, I can get them out pretty quickly now because of the way that we're doing on OBS.
Get your CHEBS out pretty quick.
Get my CHEBS out pretty quick. And for anybody, I'm cheap. So... If you're watching this now, odds are that you're probably going to be watching this before the stream because it doesn't take me a week to get these things edited and out anymore. So, yeah, I mean, if you feel like chuck it in the comments, do you want us to give it a stream maybe? I mean, and then, if anybody's in the chat and everything, we can respond, because I do like responding. You know, that person who gave us a shout out in Facebook earlier reminded me we do like responding to our fans and stuff. You know, it is fun.
When we get them, all 8 of them.
All 8 of them, yeah, exactly, all 8. You know, 9 on a good day. But yeah, that stream looks like it'll be fun. So I'm looking forward to covering that.
When the weather's bad and they can't go out.
Exactly. Yeah, that's it. Yeah, that's when it happens. Yeah. You know, or if somebody's looking for a particularly challenging wank, you know, we don't judge. We know our dulcet tones offer all sorts of release and comfort.
Relief.
Comfort. Yeah, relief and comfort.
Yeah. Well, it took a turn.
Fans is fans, dude. Right. Okay. Let's get into something else. So
no onlys.
Let's get into a Saurus, not a Saurus. Saurus.
So close.
I like this one. They've given him the name Anky Panky, which reminds me of all the old silly names that they used to give to Lizardman back in like 3rd and 4th edition and everything.
Yeah, you had like a little stop.
Yeah, and Itsy Teeny. That was a good one. Or Teeny Weeny, I think it was Teeny Weeny.
Droll and Dribble.
So yeah, great stuff. This is a lovely model. This is really nice. I like this.
Yeah, a little stop is something to do with vocal work.
Oh, really? Okay.
Like for singing, yeah.
Yeah, makes sense. I mean, there was loads of them back in the day. You know, when Warhammer was a lot more irreverent and kind of geeky and closeted than it is now. There's loads of them. So yeah, this is a nice model. I like this. What can I say?
Anky Panky. That's such a British name.
Exactly. Yeah, no, that's what it is. It's the British humour, isn't it? So
I fully expect the Saurus to deck someone and then just laugh like Sid James. Like, yeah,
big dirty laugh. Yeah.
Yeah.
You dirty old man.
Good old Babs.
Yeah, so
much carry on up the Khyber now.
Up the Khyber, indeed. Yeah, no, that looks cool. I like it. Yeah, that's a nice model. So they've just shown it off. That's what they've been doing. They've just been showing off Blood Bowl models for the last few weeks, and I don't have.
It's going to be resin, isn't it?
It is resin, absolutely. Yeah. I don't know if it actually mentioned here, but it will be resin. They normally do mention it. Let's have a look. No, it doesn't mention, but it will be. It will be resin. I'm pretty sure. Pretty sure. I mean, looking at the model, yeah, I would say that's resin. I don't think that's plastic. To be honest, they're always 3D prints anyway, so who can tell? But yeah, that does look nice. So I like the look of that. So we'll sack that off and then see what's coming up this week. So this week is the Rest of Chaos, finally. So it's been like 3 weeks to get all this stuff out. So you've got your Chaos Knights. Yeah, then they're fine. Nothing wrong with those. They're the slightly newer ones that they released just before they went to Age of Sigmar and went all mental with the massive Varangard and stuff. So they're not too bad.
They were pretty good, to be fair.
And then you've got the Gore. I've got all these somewhere. One army that I mean to hang on to.
From the first time around.
Chariots and stuff. Very nice. You know, they're a very cost-effective army, these guys. Very cost-effective. The Marauders, looking a little bit silly these days, but they have that old-school charm, if that's what you're going for.
They do, yeah.
But, you know, they work out a lot cheaper. These guys, the Chaos Hounds, these models I didn't like. This is during a bad
you know what?
sculpting time.
Whoever sculpted these had seen too much Willow.
Yes.
For those dog pink, those dog pig things that ransack their village.
Yeah, exactly. Like the do you remember the Tusk Gore model? I'll put it up in the video. It's like not Tusk Gore, Razor Gore, I think it was called, and it's meant to be like one of the worst models that GW ever made.
So I don't know. It sounds like a Warcraft thing.
Very, very, very bad. And then you've got your Marauder Horsemen. So yeah, basically all the rest of the Chaos stuff, which is nice for the Chaos players, you know. And I know that box set that they released, the Battalion set that's like 120 quid or whatever. That's a 2,000 point army. And Chaos Warriors always were a very cost-effective army.
Yeah, because you don't need many of them.
Exactly, yeah. And then you've got Leda Hera in her Spira set thing.
Yeah, which Fenthian pattern hunting rig.
Yeah, it looks all right.
Which, to be fair, I think she did pretty well because I was reading through the actual Book of Desolation to go with the box. and she ends up going to the ruins of Hive Secundus to look for her brother, who's there hunting for Arco treasure, and he vanishes, and she ends up getting cornered, but finds this old archaic Spyro suit.
Okay.
And he basically saves her ass because she finds it, and then instead of getting murdered by mutated gene stealers, she ends up bonding with the suit, and then she's like, "Oh, now I might just survive this."
Okay, cool, awesome.
And then she kind of escapes Hive Secundus, still in the suit.
Yeah.
She's like, "Now I need to get back to my hive and sort out this fucking guy who usurped my hive from me."
Oh, nice. Well, next up we've got Hermatius, the second son. A model that I do not like. I think this is awful.
Yeah, I'm not a massive fan. I'm kind of like, could almost use it for a Dark Mechanicum if it weren't for the Gene Stealer Familiar that's squatting right in front of him.
Exactly. But this, I mean, I thought, what is that meant to be robe? Is it meant to be wax? Is it Salvador Dali reference? I don't know what is going on there. But that's just not.
I think it's all robe. I think he's supposed to be like a psychic echo of the original tech priest biologist who fucked everything up,
right?
And created horrible gene stealers.
Which is cool, and there's cool bits to this model that I do like. Like I like this hand holding his skull. That's cool. Like that. That's nice.
Yeah, there's good aspects to it. I think it's just a little bit niche to use than anything else.
Overall, not a fan of that at all.
Thanks to the Gene Stealer Familiar.
Indeed.
Normally I like Familiars because they're just little psychic projections and they're small and weird and cool.
Yeah,
but I'm kind of like, that one being there kind of prevents you using it from anything else.
That's kind of screaming out trainee sculptor to me, to be honest. Not a fan. And then you've got this.
Speaking of things that are cool.
Horrific monstrosity.
Kid Awesome. I'm going to have one of these.
It's all right. Yeah, be Forge World, but...
It looks great. I'm like, it's the thing crossed with a zoanthrope.
It's about as fucked up as I would expect GW to get, if that makes sense.
Yep.
Like it's not. Yep. I've seen much worse, but it's about as much as I would expect GW to do. So yeah, it's all right. It's all right.
I'm a big fan.
Then you've got the mainstream alpha that I hate. Oh, this is fucking awful.
I'm going to grab one of those as well. One, just to annoy you, and two, because I've got both other patriarchs.
Yeah,
so I might as well get the third one as well. Oh, yeah, it's even got your club fist that you
like. It's horrible. I fucking hate it. I hate it. I really do. No, that's horrific. And then you've got the Kaz Dwarfs, and they're great. Blood Bowl is that's where this lives. That is where this lives, and that's
it doesn't really have a place anywhere else, does it?
No, that's just awesome. You know, the Hobgoblins are the wrong colour, but other than that, awesome.
Should they be darker?
Orange. Originally, Hobgoblins when they first came out were orange.
You can tell I'm not an old school Blood Bowl player.
Yeah, that's why there's an old. Oh, we're talking like Warhammer here, early Warhammer, like second, third maybe. And they were orange, but yeah, that's cool. No, I like that. There are very few Blood Bowl teams that I don't look at, and I'm like, or I look at and I'm like, I don't actually like that. Very, very few. Like nearly all of them, I'm just like, yeah, I like what you've done there. I really do.
Oh look! What? They've even put an in-game reason with the collapse of the NAF, the Authority abandoned for the Blood Bowl leagues. The Chaos Dwarfs have returned with a vengeance.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah, it's like wrestling, isn't it? It's like it's a storyline that comes up.
See, like they've done here what we were complaining about last time round, when we were like, Games Workshop, you've been lazy and you're just changing shit and not putting any lore justification.
Yeah.
And here they've done a lore justification, and it's a little thing, but it works.
That's because the people in special release games actually give a fuck. So anyway, moving on. You've got your Centaurs. They're going to be pricey because I think they're going to be Forge World. But yeah, 2 resin ball Centaurs. But yeah, they look cool. Yeah, it's fine. They're not quite as nice, but they're okay.
Got to say, Andy Hoare, if you ever hear this, and I'm not sure that you will, this kind of There's Something in the Water Romulus sour beer is for you. Thank you very much.
Is that what it's actually called? There's something in the water.
Yeah.
That's cool.
And the can looks amazing. I'll send you a photo so you can stick it up on the thing.
Yeah, send us a photo. Not like I can actually fucking drink it unless it's gluten-free.
Well, to be fair, it's sour beer, so you might not want to drink it.
Sour beer?
Yeah. It's now when I was younger and people went, "Oh, Guinness, that's an acquired taste," I just assumed that it was something that some people liked and some people didn't.
Yeah.
Now I know that an acquired taste is something that you acquire by drinking it.
Okay.
And you go, I don't know if I like that, and you drink another one, you go, well, maybe I don't know.
And eventually you just get used to it. Okay, fair enough.
Exactly. Which is pretty much what I did with Guinness. I started drinking it in pubs in Essex because no one nicked it.
I can't drink Guinness here because I've had it in Ireland, and it is
I've had it in Ireland as well.
Genuinely, absolutely different. Like, I never liked Guinness, and then I had one in Ireland. I was like, I'm still not a massive fan.
But it's a lot more smooth and nice.
But it's all right. It's drinkable. And then I went back to drinking it over, and I was just like,
it's like no.
That's how you can tell the Irish hate us, because they keep the good Guinness for themselves.
To be fair, they deserve it. We put them through enough.
We did, yeah. The family was a bit of a dick move. So yeah, these are nice. I like this. This is nice. I like these. I like this better than these ones. I think.
Oh, two named guys.
The two characters, yeah, I think they're really cool.
Is it me, or have they toned down the hats?
The hats have been massively toned down
Since the Ansel days.
Yes, exactly. Yes.
Hearing the Perry twins talk about that was fucking brilliant.
But no, they're really nice. I like all of that. And then it comes with the big glittery DLC, pitch, cards, dice, blah, 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 spike. All of the above. And then they've released the Warcry stuff separately, and I didn't like these, but you did.
I do, but I don't think I'll bother getting these.
Even though she's got a CHEBS out, I'm still not a fan.
Okay, might buy it.
Yeah, I just... Yeah. The bees! Hitting Kate here. Not the bees!
I'm blissfully ignorant of that scene.
You've never watched the Wicker Man remake?
No, I didn't see any need to whatsoever.
So bad.
I didn't need to. I was like, the original, I'm just about old enough to appreciate the original because I remember the time from which it came.
Yes, yeah, exactly.
Because the 70s were quite a different time.
The thing is that the original is genuinely unsettling. Like, really genuinely unsettling.
Yeah.
The remake is just no, it's not good. It's like Blumhouse made it or something. I've been watched that Afraid the other day.
Okay.
It's awful. Nothing happens. Like, literally, it's terrible. John Cho's in it, and he's solid. It was so like the main plot. Like, I'm not even kidding. The main plot was about the daughter who sent her kind of boyfriend, a naked pic, and then somebody did like an AI porn video on it and put her face on it.
Yeah, I think working in IT, I've never ever felt the need to send sus pictures of me to anyone or expect any in return because I know how easily things can just end up online, and once they're online, you're fucked.
Massively manipulated, and basically the AI then does like a video getting her out of it. What?
Oh, I was about to say, just for clarification, I'm 45 now. I was referring to when I was a younger man.
Yeah, whatever. Whatever.
Yeah,
so she does like that, and then she does like an AI video getting her out of the blame, but then she does an AI video of the guy groveling and doing a apology, and then she AI drives his car into a tree to kill him.
This all sounds very tit for tat by proxy.
It was just crap. It didn't do anything, and then nobody else dies in the whole fucking film, and it's just it was awful. Blumhouse, you suck. Some of your stuff's okay, but that was awful. Waste of time. Don't watch that.
I watched Subservient, which I quite enjoyed, with very low expectations because it's basically, from what I remember of The Hand That Rocks the Cradle, it's a lot like that, but with Megan Fox as a rather immoral robot.
Okay.
Helping out around the house, and she really, really does help out.
Oh, recommendation right there. I'll check that out. Called Subservient, yeah?
Subservient, yeah. It came out very recently. And to be fair, like, she looks awesome. But, yeah.
Cool. Awesome. Okay. Anyway, back to the hobby stuff before Matt disappears for half an hour. We've got these Bone Reapers come out. They're a separate thing from Warcry, and I didn't like these either. I kind of like the winged things because they remind me of like a Ray Harryhausen thing.
Yeah, like harpies.
Yeah, but that's it. That's as far as it goes. The rest of it, not a fan. Never been a fan of this army. Don't think I ever will be.
They look like little versions of the of the other things that came out for Nagash a while back. Not Morghasts.
Morghasts. Yeah, it was
Morghast.
Morghast. Yeah, Morghast or Mortarks. Might be Mortarks.
Mortarks are like the bosses, aren't they? You get a Mortark of so and so.
I think so.
And this and that.
But yeah, I like the little winged dudes that they remind me of like Harryhausen, flappy things. But everything else, not so much. And then there's just this crap piece of terrain that came out that might, whatever. And then a couple of books, and then that's it. But at the end, they did say, right here.
Carl Carradines. Those are good books.
Is it by Robin Niven? It's just an audio book, yeah. Oh no, it's Out of Dark. That is a full novel.
That and Red Tide,
do say
very good.
Here at the Warhammer community, there is a big change coming that we can't wait to unveil. Interesting.
And the return of Heresy Thursday. So yeah, Heresy Thursday is going to be mechanic and blade.
Finally, I would think so. I
can't attacks.
It goes.
Fucking all attacks.
I can't see it being anything else. So I'm wondering if maybe it might be because they're not doing Horus Heresy in the preview. If we might see some of that stuff at Horus Heresy scale, because obviously that's all coming in plastic. We'll go back to it again real quickly because we've kind of got off it. But we've got the Tech Thralls, we've got the Phalax, we've got the Castellax, Thanatar, and Traorus. But all the rest of that, I would expect to see in plastic.
Yeah, that'd be very nice.
And it will be fucking amazing.
Especially the All Attacks. It's finally a model. It's only been 15 years of having rules for the thing without a model.
So to see all that in plastic, because I have got my Mechanicum box set, 2 of them actually, because some websites are stupid and tell you something's cancelled when it's not, and they go, "Oh no, you're still getting it," and I'm like,
"Thanks a bunch.
I should probably cancel it, but fuck it."
Yeah. Why haven't I been refunded yet?
Yeah, exactly.
Oh yeah. By the way, you're getting that. Sorry.
I do want to get a full size Thanatar sometime. I do want to get the proper big one, but that'll be some point in the future. It's not like I've actually put any of this stuff together. No, yeah, it's on the list, kind of. Nice. So, all coming up. And then another thing that GW showed off, which, again, looked pretty cool, because it's from the non-core game people, was War of the Rohirrim, Battle of Edoras.
This terrain makes me laugh so much for this.
We'll get to it. So, yeah, they showed off the new Lord of the Rings box set, and honestly, looks pretty cool. I'm expecting it to be around about the same price as, 130 quid maybe. I don't know, 140. I don't know. I'm probably not going to get it because I've got enough games to play. But traditionally, this stuff's all been very good. And this doesn't seem
I
to
heard
be
good things.
Any exception. Apparently, the guys that write this are really good. So you've got your obviously your rule book, nice chunky rule book. That's pretty good. 176 pages, certainly better than Kill Team. Little scenarios and profiles booklet. Like this idea, putting all the profiles of the stuff in a separate little book. Very nice. That's the way it should be done.
It's a bit like 30k.
Yeah, well, kind of, because 30k obviously you have your separate books, don't you? But you did have the little was it double-sided sheet or three-sided sheet? I think it was with profiles. But yeah, I'm totally down with that. A couple of Rohan houses, which makes Matt crack up.
Yeah. I don't know why they're like, we put terrain in this. It's like 2 huts of defence, some barrels.
load of models and stuff.
It's so funny. Like, what am I going to do with that?
Very, very, very small village. And then the models look nice. I think they've certainly stepped up a bit from the previous plastics that they've done. The horses still look a little bit small, but
the dudes are so big.
And the very cool thing about this is even though the new film looks to be a teeny bit girl bossy, like it's meant to be about Helm Hammerhand. Yeah, it's meant to be about Helm Hammerhand, but it seems to be very much about his daughter and how great she is now. She's going to change everything, which is just modern Hollywood. Yeah, whatever. Just you get on with it. I don't care at this point. It's not what Tolkien did, but I'm just used to it. At least it hopefully will be better than Rings of Power. What the fuck is this cursor flashing here for? Go away. Stop that. How do I do that?
Ignore it.
It's gone. It's gone. So yeah, you hear him. You got here. No lady in sight. You got these 2 lads. Lovely looking models. I've got to say, even though the horses are a little bit small, that's nice. I like that. It is definitely a little bit small, but it's nice. It's nice.
It's a pony.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah.
War pony.
Prancing pony, if you will. But no, they're nice. I like that. Nice models. And then you got this lad. Hang on. So did you get? That can't be right. They're in the box.
Oh, they are in it.
They're
on the table.
in it.
Look.
So you get one on foot and one mounted for each of them. That's not bad, man. That's pretty good. That's like what?
Yeah, they're both in there.
Well, it says it is, but then when I look at this, there's only one dude on horseback.
No, they're both up the middle, top.
One there. That's the other side, mate.
Well, yeah, but there's only one on each side on horseback. Oh, no, there ain't.
No, there ain't.
There should be a third one.
There should be two horses in there.
I'm sure it's there somewhere.
There should be two horses for the Rohans. Oh, is it this guy here? You see where the book is, right in the middle of the spine? Is it that guy there?
Yeah, look for the fat one.
Oh, no, that's a small base. It can't be. What sorcery is this, GW? 24 Hills tribesmen. Oh, sorry, 24.
Yeah, you'll find two versions in the box, one on foot and one mounted. So they've probably only used one because you can only use one at a time.
Yeah, because they've set up for a battle. Yeah, maybe. Yeah, I don't know, but yeah, you definitely get you get those in the box, definitely. And yeah, they're nice, man. I've got to say they are nice. I'm so used to seeing these massively over-designed Age of Sigmar models with their stupid, because they're the biggest scale. They're like, because I think these traditionally these Lord of the Rings models have always been a lower scale, smaller scale than the main GW stuff. Yeah. And that was part of the contract that they signed with New Line Pictures, was that the models had to be a different scale to what they were currently producing. And I mean, there's something refreshing about those that I really like. Maybe it's
Warriors look good as well.
Maybe it's the earthy colours they've used or what, but they're really nice. Yeah, the Warriors are. I've seen this before, and got a lady of Rohirrim here by the looks of things. I'm going to say that one's a lady.
Yeah, I mean, they do get involved, I guess.
Yeah, I mean, this is all set way before the Lord of the Rings, so they can get away with that kind of thing. It does seem to be just the one, so, and it might not even be because it's hard to tell, but I would say that's a lady. I don't know. I don't think they specify it. But what did surprise me is when it comes to the tribesmen, they are all men. So you've got Wolf in there, again, mounted and thingy, and yeah, that's nice, man. I mean, I've heard people say, like, oh, you've copied the anime style, and I'm not seeing it.
No, I think so.
I think they look great. They're really not, dude. I could be tempted by this box set. I really could.
I mean, I can kind of see what they mean in the faces and the poses.
A little bit more animated, but I don't see the anime style necessarily. Like, even the way they've painted it, it's a bit more stark and like
down to earth.
Yeah, but I think part of that might just be the scale. I think they're really nice, man.
Yeah,
I think they're really nice. And General Targ, again, that's really nice. That horse looks a bit more to the right size.
It's a bit of a Star Trek name, though.
Yeah, a little bit.
It's clearly a Klingon.
I don't know if it comes in.
It's holding up it's on his horse with his batleth.
Yeah, no, not batleth. That's Muckleth.
I don't know. I know a batleth. I know it doesn't look like one, but it's a curved thing.
There is a curved sword they have. It doesn't quite look like that, but it looks close. I think it's called a Muckleth. And yeah, that's nice, man. Oh, that's really nice. There's something.
I might have a word with Mike, see if he's interested, because I think he's got either Lord of the Rings or The Hobbit. I'm not sure which one. I know we've never played it.
Well, this is a whole different game. This is a whole different game, obviously. But assuming that you could play a proper game with this stuff,
the whole rule set's similar, I think.
And then down here you've got Amon Amarth, basically, looking good
and enslaved.
And enslaved, absolutely. There's definitely a bit of Bjorn there, isn't there?
Yeah. Scandinavian Viking metal bands, just there they are.
No,
they're all there.
No ladies here, but I think they're really, really nice models.
Scruffy dudes, yeah.
They actually look fucking amazing. I mean, when you look at the scale and how good these faces look.
Yeah, it makes a change, doesn't it? Good faces in plastic.
Fucking LGW, get these guys sort of I say they're going to be smaller, but I mean, I'd put those in a Chaos Warrior army over those other Marauders we're looking at.
Heresy. But yeah, they're damn nice.
You know, even if I don't get the box set, I would pick up a box of these for sure. Just a pain. I think they're really, really nice. And then you get some houses, Matt. Look, houses. Which look fine.
I don't know why it's so funny. It's
I have no idea. I have no idea why. Like a tiny little set of barrels.
Yeah.
No, they're great.
The barrel's supposed to be for cover.
Yeah.
Horse's head sticking out from behind the top barrel. I'm sorry, I'm in cover. I get a cover save. It's like I see a dude.
Oh man, I can't get over how good those hillsmen look. This set is honestly, actually attracts me more than anything from 40k that I've seen recently.
Yeah,
like, I look at this compared to Kill Team, and I'm just like, no, I'd have this.
And this is up for pre-order next week, isn't it?
No, I don't think so. This is just something
it's just
shown off early.
Yeah.
You see, something makes me think that this could be the Black Friday thing because the film comes out on December the 13th, if I remember correctly.
Yeah.
So this would be about 3 weeks before that. Give it a 2-week pre-order on Black Friday, and it would release more or less in line. Haha, see what I did there with the with the movie. So yeah, but dude, I really like that. I can't. There's not a lot I don't like about it. The only thing I don't, and it's not I don't like, but the only thing that has me slightly wary is they have got copies of all the models. So I don't think
screws in it.
Yeah, well, it's not that. It's just I'm thinking there might not be a lot of scope for conversion. Like you can't put his head on that body, for example, because of the way they're made.
Gotcha.
And I do hate having exactly identical models in my armies. I like to convert them.
Aye.
But yeah, I would definitely pick up some of those just to paint, dude. So if somebody's flogging those on eBay or something, they're going for like, I don't know, 25, 30 quid. For 20 models, I'd pick those up. Yeah, really nice, really nice. So even if I don't get the box set, I would definitely get some of those Hillmen. And it comes with your box and your scenarios and your cook reference guide and everything. So yeah, that was a nice little preview they showed off. And overall, that for me, the actual preview that's coming in a couple of weeks aside, that's the thing that's got me going like, yes, I really like the look of that a lot. I never got any of the previous Lord of the Rings games, but that one's got me like, ooh, if I got this, would Kirsty play this with me? I'll have to ask her. Beg her. I can hear her come down the stairs.
Ask her now immediately.
I know, right? Hey, Kirsty, if I get this Lord of the Rings set, would you play it with me?
No. Yes.
No, she said no.
She said yes, I heard it.
She said no, she doesn't like Lord of the Rings. Shh. Only if you can kill Frodo. Frodo's not in this one. This is from the new film that's coming out.
Say yes, yes. Just say yes.
I'll put Frodo in it especially so you can kill him.
Objective.
He can be the objective. Nah, she's gone.
It'll work. It'll work.
It'll be fine. It'll be fine. No, I do generally, in all seriousness, I really like that box set. I think that looks really good. I think GW have done sterling work there. And I mean, assuming this is like, let's say it's the same price as Kill Team, 150 quid. Considering the amount of characters you get, I don't think that's awful. I don't think it's cheap, because it's GW, it's not cheap. 56 set little miniatures. I would hope it would be cheaper than 145. I'd hope it would be cheaper, like closer to 130. Basically, I would hope that it's around about 100 quid from a third party type thing. So, you know.
Yeah, but, seems reasonable.
I do really, no, I genuinely, I think those models are fucking amazing. And they've actually got decent faces that look like people. So, yeah, I'll stop going on about that. I'm sure our listeners are fed up of me scrolling up and down. And then, we've already discussed the Mechanicum box set. So we've got one last thing to talk about before we get onto the standard deliverings. Mr. Cavill has been playing Space Marine.
He has.
And
I expected nothing less, to be
indeed.
fair.
Well, what I loved about this is the way that he's put nope in his. So he's edited it out so nobody knows what his player thing is, and put nope. So he may have been that silent dude the other day, the random that ran off and just fucking owned everybody.
Yeah.
You never know.
It might have been.
Because he says he couldn't complete the campaign on Angel of Death by himself.
Yeah,
but
so
dude,
dropping into other campaign games.
If you've done it on Veteran, I'm impressed.
Yeah, it's quite a difficulty hike.
I mean,
to be fair.
Fucking hell, mate. So we would expect nothing less. We would expect nothing less from our illustrious nerd in the celebrity world.
Got his heresy book there as well. Look.
Yeah, exactly.
Old school in it.
Book 2. Can't remember which one is it. Massacre, I think. Book 2.
Yep.
Yeah. But hey, Henry, we know you're a listener or a watcher. You know, obviously, why wouldn't you be, dude? If you fancy some ops, just drop us a message. I'll be up for it, mate. Yeah.
My favourite demon's the keeper of secrets. Telling no one nothing.
I'll make some time. But yeah, obviously you would expect him to be playing it. So yeah, just nice to have that confirmation, I guess. So that is all of the GW news covered. Anything you can think about to talk about?
No.
Because from here, I was just going to really talk about what we could do going forward. And I was thinking what could be really cool is to do a CHEBS episode where we do all, or not all, because there's been fucking hundreds of them at this point, but we do an episode devoted to video games. Yeah, Warhammer ones, obviously. So your Final Liberations, your Dawn of Wars, your Chaos Gates, all that stuff.
That's the Fire Warrior.
Fire Warrior, yes. Talk about that. I need to actually see if I can get a copy of that, because I played a copy of it, or I played my copy of it on CD, but it wouldn't work all the way through. There was obviously some adaptability problems, because I mean it's an old game.
It is, yeah.
So the CD that had big problems, there was glitches around the point where the Valkyrie attacks you.
Yeah.
And that boss fight was hard enough as it was. I'd love to see a remastered version of that,
GOG.com have it for $6.
That's like, what, £4?
It's a fiver, £4.79.
Fucking exchange rate. Yeah, so that's not bad. And I need to play the new Chaos Gate sometime as well.
Oh, is that the one with the Grey Knights?
Yes.
It's quite good. I played it a bit.
I played the old one. I really liked it up until the stage when you get into the indoor environments. And then the stupid isometric fucking layout where you hide layers and stuff. It was impossible. It was impossible to see things. So I was just walking and getting pwned by some fucking cultist hiding behind a stanchion that I couldn't see because it decided not to show me the whole fucking map. I was just like, I'm fed up now. But I might play the new one sometime. But yeah, I was thinking of doing a video about that. It could be fun. Because obviously, we had the Sabre CEO come out. And
rephrase that immediately.
He made a post about how they made Space Marine 2 with the aim of just having fun and just being a game that you could just play and have fun and purge the Xenos and just, immediate, don't have to work really hard to get into, doesn't want to give you like a 3-hour tutorial or, be like a massive RPG, doesn't want to do any messaging or anything like that. Is the complete opposite of Veilguard, for example. Something that's just going to appeal to a mass audience and isn't looking to please certain people that may support your game, but just seems like, so for example, like going with Veilguard, it seems like such an extent to go to put sort of trans surgery scars on a character creator.
It does seem a little bit niche.
Why exactly? I I don't get it. I don't understand who's asking for that, why it's important to have that in your game. I mean, like when I played Mass Effect, I didn't go around making. Well, I used to play Femship anyway because she had the better voice actress, Jennifer. I can't remember her name now. She was brilliant. But I don't understand the obsession with making everything look like you, if that makes sense.
Yeah.
If that was the case, I'd play nothing but Space Wolves. You know. And I don't understand that they're just gushing over this character creation thing more than anything else because apparently it's got pronouns and everything like that. And I'm like, well, I just don't see that being a selling point. You know, no. Surely it's just the fact that the game's fun. People. Yeah, maybe, I don't know, but I don't understand it. Like, I just want the game to be fun. Like, I don't care. If you know, I don't know. I mean, obviously there are people out there who do care, but for me, the fun should be the primary thing. So it's quite nice to hear the Saber CEO come out. Oh, I've got to say it again, make that post and say, you know, because apparently he made, or not him, but somebody else on his team was the head of ID. And
okay, John Cormack?
No, not that one. Another guy, Tim something. Okay. And he was talking about Doom Eternal, and I was like, that's another game that's like it just doesn't give a fuck. It's just like, look, here's a dude, kill some other dudes, and presumably wenches, and just that's it, you know. And the only thing I really didn't like about Doom Eternal was the fact that they made it quite platformy and put a lot of like jumping and verticality into that game, which I didn't think it needed.
Oh.
But other than that, like the glory kills and stuff, it was just like, oh yeah, cool. It's like when you play Fallout, one of the Fallout 3D, not 3D, first-person shooter games, and you do the VAT system.
Yeah,
and
it all pauses.
You know, it just never gets old. It's just like, yes, you know. And I think gaming, yeah, exactly, yeah. I was like, I just made your head explode. Yay! And I think gaming should be about those things. You know, I mean, if you want to put the other stuff in and it's not a massive change, it's not impacting the fun of the game, then yeah, or the quality of the game, then I guess, like if you've got the time and the development space to do it, but to make it a feature of the game just seems like, it's just, I don't know, I guess it's just virtually singling really. And as I say, some people are going to appreciate that, but until the majority of people appreciate that, it's just going to affect your bottom line, which is why things like Concord have failed miserably. Because they were so.
Most people don't give a shit about it.
Most people don't give a shit. You know, they just want the game to be fun, and clearly the game wasn't enough fun to keep playing. Would it have done better if it had been free to play? Maybe, I don't know. But I mean, it's like Tacticus, for example. Tacticus, obviously, I mean, it hasn't got anything like that in any way. It's not what I'm talking about. But I'm just saying, like, if Tacticus wasn't fun to play, then I wouldn't keep playing it.
No.
You know, and I've not spent any money on it, and I don't intend to spend any money on it because it's a mobile phone game, and there's other things I can buy, like fucking Chaoscape, for example, play that.
Yeah.
But the core gameplay loop of Tacticus is fun, especially now I've unlocked quite a few different characters.
Oh, good.
Although I was really annoyed because I started the incursion mode today, and it was like, choose your war machine. It was like, oh, I'll choose a Redemptor Dreadnought. But to get the Redemptor Dreadnought, you don't use Space Marines, you use Chaos guys. Yeah. I've only got 4 Chaos dudes.
Oh no.
So I can't get anywhere where I've got like 8 fucking Marines, and you can't change it once you've chosen it. And I was like, no. I have to wait for the next time they do it, because there's no way I'm going to unlock that Dreadnought. But yeah, it just had me thinking, like, and it was the same with Warhammer 40,000. I was like, look, I don't care what representation, I don't care about, I don't really care one way or the other. I just want the game to be fun, and that should be your primary concern, GW. Not pandering to people or doing law things to please a very small minority of people that are, you know, very vocal, but not doing that. Your primary concern should be making the game fun. And if it's fun, people will play. You know, Warhammer has never historically, from what I remember, struggled for players. You know, obviously it's only got more popular as time's gone on, but it's like Lord of the Rings, for example. So they've done Rings of Power now, which has obviously got women everywhere doing everything and all that kind of stuff. And
I mean, it's crap even without that.
nobody's watching it. Like,
No.
nobody's watching this fucking show. But Lord of the Rings is one of the best-selling books of all time.
Yep.
And there's no fucking females in it at all, like barely at all. Like maybe another 20, 30 odd pages, which I know is going to infuriate feminists and all that kind of stuff. But a book doesn't become one of the best-selling books of all time if no one is reading it.
Nope. To be fair, it was a different time when it was written.
Girls and stuff were reading it back then anyway. So historically, there was nothing wrong with Lord of the Rings. And I understand that in modern times, you do need to do all this stuff, because if you don't, you're going to get called out on it. You're going to get called a bigot and all that kind of nonsense.
Yeah.
But if you do it at the expense of making it good, which seems to be what's happened with Rings of Power, then you've not achieved anything. You've destroyed things. And I think that's the concern that people have with Warhammer. It's not a case of necessarily like, oh, you've put stuff into it. It's like, you've put stuff into it and it's made it worse. If you can do it and the standard stays the same, then I think people don't really care. And I think that's one of the problems that you've got with Hollywood at the moment and all that kind of stuff. Just make a good product and the rest of it should come naturally without you needing to force an agenda. You know, like kits get female bits added to them, like the Guardsmen every time they get taken out, and every time, like all the Age of Sigmar stuff, there's ladies in it now, and nobody's really said anything that I can think of. I don't think anybody has complained at any stage that I can remember that the Cadian Guardsman set, when it came out, had female heads in it. I don't think when the Stormcast Eternal came out, I don't think anybody said anything about there being ladies in Stormcast Eternals. Like Neve Blacktalon, for example, was a fairly universally accepted character from what I remember.
I think so, yeah.
You know, I don't think anybody went, oh God, girl boss, blah, 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 blah. It was all fine. I don't remember. Like when they did, God, what's her name? Lady Greyfax, the Inquisitor. I don't remember.
Yeah, no one really batted an eyelid there either.
You know, back in the early days when you had Jane Czar as a Phoenix Lord, nobody turned around and went, oh God, bloody girl.
No one cared. She was awesome.
No one cared, exactly.
They were good at chopping up Marines.
No one cared because she was awesome. So, you know, the Howling Banshees all being girls. Nobody cared. Nobody's like, and it's not like they're running around in bikinis.
No, not witch elves.
Not like witch elves. Yeah, exactly. So I don't quite understand why, when something's going to naturally expand like that, while you would take artificial steps to step that up, if it comes at the cost of quality. And that's one of the things I don't understand, especially when people were playing it anyway. I mean, you always had Eschers, you always had Howling Banshees, you always had... I mean, even now, I think the majority of girl players out there probably play Tyranids, Orcs. Kirsty likes Nurgle, I guess.
Worrying for a nurse.
Very worrying for a nurse, but hey, you know, there you go. Plague nurse. But yeah, I kind of don't get it, and I'm just kind of waiting for it all to stop. Does that make sense?
It makes a lot of sense, yeah.
You know, I'm just kind of waiting for it all to go, like, just settle down and just... For me, it's kind of like Field of Dreams. If you build it, they will come. You know, just make good shit and people just turn up regardless. And you've got to make sure that in the aim of trying to capture a mythical audience that may or may not embrace your product, but is more likely not to in the first place. Because let's face it, I've said this before, as a percentage, less females are going to be drawn to Warhammer than males. That's just the way it is, because men are more belligerent. They like toys, not those kind of toys, girls. And that's just the way it is. Like, the vast majority of women look at blokes and go, oh, God, he's playing with his toys. They just don't have the interest, you know what I mean? Whereas more dudes are going to be like, oh, cool, toys. It's like Transformers, yeah? So I was watching Lee on his Transformers. He did a stream with some dudes. There's no girls there. And I was thinking, like, how many girls do I know that collect Transformers? And the answer was 0.
True, it's very much a boys' thing when I was a kid.
It's a boys' thing, and it always will be. But you don't see anybody, do you know what I mean, complaining about that. And I think like toys and action figures just generally appeal to dudes more. I've had a couple of girlfriends in the past that have liked some stuff. Like, I had one girlfriend, she loved all the Final Fantasy play arts figures. I got her a load for her birthday. And things like that. But the fact that there are some things that are delineated to appeal to dudes, and there are some things that are delineated to appeal to girls, that's not a problem. And then there's going to be some natural crossover in between. Like, Sam used to be into some dude shit and some girly shit. Kirsty is mostly a girly girl, but then there's a few dude things that she's like, oh yeah, I kind of like that. It's kind of cool. I kind of like it. And then there's some things she doesn't like, you know. And I just don't understand the need to say that's a bad thing. And then there's some girl stuff that dudes have absolutely no fucking interest in. And I don't necessarily see that being a bad thing either. I'm sure there's stuff that your missus is into that you are not into.
Yeah.
You know?
Yeah, definitely.
And then there's going to be stuff that you're into that your missus isn't into. And I know our audience is like 99% male, but any girls that are out there, comment, you know, let us know what you think. I mean, I think it's nice that people have their own thing to go to. Do you know what I mean? And I think it's nice that guys have a space, and I think it's nice that girls have a space. And if a girl wants to come into that space, then I'm like, cool, awesome. You know, like you see girls down Wayland sometimes.
Yeah. You know, I mean, over the years they got more frequent, which is cool.
Yeah, exactly.
Like, never a problem with having more girls in gaming.
It's not like we're saying, as you say, it's a cool thing that girls are involved. You know, you will find that in general, assuming you're not some kind of prepubescent fucking geek who can't talk to girls, dudes will be quite happy with having a girl come down and just like, I want to join in with this board game. I want to join in with this role-playing game. I want to play Magic with you. I want to play Warhammer with you, for example.
Yeah.
Like, dudes would be like, that's cool, awesome, no problem. But to say that it's inherently a bad thing for it to be a guy-orientated pursuit, that I don't agree with. I think it's fine for girls to be into dude stuff, but I think it has to. It needs to kind of remain dude stuff. Do you know what I'm saying? That's what I'm saying basically. And then if the girl's like, that's dude stuff, but I like it, then you're like, cool, awesome.
Yeah, like get into something because of what it is, not because of what you think you can change it to be.
Exactly that. Because then you have to say, how far can you change an IP or a game or a product before it is no longer that thing? And this is what occurred to me when I was watching Star Wars on Sunday, A New Hope. Kirsty loved that film. She's seen it before, obviously. Who hasn't seen Star Wars? Especially anybody who's with me. She's seen it more than once. But I do believe it was the first time she'd ever seen it at cinema. And she walked out saying, that was amazing. That was great cinema. That's what cinema should be like now. Because the thing about Star Wars is it is a very, very simple film.
Yeah.
Very simple.
And the whole series is, well, the first three anyway.
Yeah, the original trilogy, yeah.
Yeah.
You know, boy on desolate planet, finds message from woman, finds wizard, finds scoundrel with transport, ends up on battle station, rescues princess, blows up battle station. That's it. That is your story. There is no overarching, commentary message. There's themes, of course. I mean, the whole thing is loosely based upon the kind of the Buck Rogers serials ideas. George Lucas has talked about this ad infinitum. Certainly a certain amount of Kurosawa is in there. But as far as a film goes, it's very basic, and it is designed to appeal to most people. I don't think there's probably no shortage of girls that went to go and see the original 1977 Star Wars back in the day. But it has always been a boys' thing, because primarily, although you have got Princess Leia and you've got the characters and that kind of stuff, and girls might think Han Solo's cute or Luke Skywalker's cute, or even the droids are cute. Fucking Kirsty loves R2-D2, for example, or Chewbacca. But primarily, Star Wars was always about the spaceships, the lasers, the aliens, the pew pew.
The pew pew.
It's in the title of the fucking name, Star Wars, and the battles and everything.
It's all about pew pew and laser swords.
This is something that very much the new Star Wars has forgotten, because it's about the spaceships. Because you can make toys of spaceships and sell them to people, boys and girls, but normally just mainly boys. You know, like, for example, another example to you. So I am a member of a Facebook group, a great Facebook group called Model Starship Builder. And they do like great models of like all sorts of Star Trek starships, Star Wars spaceships, Babylon 5, all that kind of stuff. I'm just trying to think, but in the entire time that I have been on there, which is years now, I don't think I've ever seen a girl make a post. Ever.
Or a model kit.
I really don't know. I'm just thinking, I really don't. And the same would go with military modelling. And I imagine maybe something like radio-controlled cars. It's always been a guy's thing.
Yeah, traditionally boy stuff.
It's just unspoken. And there's nothing wrong with that. But if a girl picked up like a kit of the Millennium Falcon and put it together, I don't think anybody would ever turn around and say, why have you done that? That's not for you.
No, people are far more likely to say, fucking nice work, we didn't expect that.
Exactly, which is normally what I would say if I ever saw a girl who do like Warhammer or anything. I'd be like, that's awesome. Out
that people probably don't expect that, not because girls can't do it, but because they're unlikely to do it.
You know, the worst thing is, generally girls are much better painters than guys because they've got the fucking patience.
Very much so.
They've got the patience to do it.
Yeah.
Sam was an amazing painter. Her Esches were fucking, they were so nice. She did each one based on like a different famous girl character.
Okay.
So she had one as Witchblade,
I remember,
as Harley Quinn, one as Poison Ivy, one as Bayonetta, and she did like all that. She was really good. And then obviously she did the traditional High Elf army in teal and purple because that's what girls do. But my point is that there are generally
or Eldar.
There are male and Eldar. There are male pursuits and there are female pursuits. And I don't necessarily see anything wrong with that. But most dudes would not complain at the same time. Whereas I do wonder if girls would complain if boys found female pursuits and tried to invade that space. Do you know what I mean?
Yeah.
And I just think
we've all joined the team. Now you have to wear flower garlands around your wrist.
Kind of. And this is what I'm talking about. Like,
not to stereotype.
With Star Wars, obviously there's been a concerted and failed, I would say, push to try and get girls to collect action figures and all of that kind of stuff, which is why infamously Rose Tico dolls were on sale for like $1 in Ollie's. Because strangely enough, girls just don't give a flying fuck. And the girls that do get into Star Wars probably do so from a perspective of they like Star Wars anyway. and they don't
and
care.
laser swords.
They don't care if it's a girl or a boy. You know, I don't think there'll be a few, but I doubt very much that Rey, for example, inspired all that many girls. Some, but they probably would have also liked Princess Leia or General Leia. It doesn't make any difference. She was awesome as both.
Yeah.
But it didn't shift the thing massively. Again, going back to Sam, she was a great Star Wars fan. She'd read more of the expanded universe than I had.
Nice.
She fucking loved it. And she loved the female characters that were in it, like Mara Jade, who was the wife of Luke Skywalker and stuff like that. But she never complained about it. She never said, oh, this needs more female representation. She was fine with it as it was because she loved it as it was.
That's because she didn't make Star Wars about her. She just enjoyed it for as it was written.
Yeah, exactly. And again, obviously that's got to be the same with things like the other IPs, Lord of the Rings and things like that. I mean, put it this way. Look at Star Wars. What was the thing that got most women, and then we're talking about Disney Star Wars in particular, not old Star Wars, but what was the thing that made most people interested, or most girls, most women, interested in new Disney Star Wars? What would you think would be the one thing that spiked girls' interests in new Disney Star Wars?
I don't know, because I'm not a girl and I could never figure out how they work.
Been spending 45 years trying to work that one out.
I would hate to guess.
Baby Yoda.
Grogu.
That is the thing.
Yeah.
And for Kirsty, it's still the thing. You know. Oh no, mate, massively. She fucking loves that little shit. She really does. I'm sick to the back teeth of him. I've had it with Grogu. I would drop kick the little cunt into an ocean.
I'm afraid he would destroy you, and you know this.
Yes, he would. He'd do his stupid little scooter face, and my throat would just be crushed.
Whilst popping stolen eggs into his little mouth.
Oh, little shit.
It's a brilliant episode.
But they love it. Yeah, no. The first 2 seasons of The Mandalorian were very solid. Very solid. We won't talk about anything else. But yeah, it was Baby Grogu, because obviously, 1, it's a baby, 2, it's cute, blah, 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 blah. All these things add up on the maternal side of a woman's mind, which obviously there's a paternal side to guys' minds as well. But that's how you get, the female audience. You do something cute, and oh, Baby Grogu's so cute. That's kind of how you do that. Do you know what I mean?
Yeah.
They don't give a fuck if it's Rey Skywalker. They don't give a fuck if all that kind of stuff. Just put something cute on the screen. That's just what traditionally works. It does. Like puppies, kittens, cute little things, and it's okay, girls. We love you for that. Girls don't give a fuck about the laser battles, the spaceships, and all that kind of stuff, but the dudes do. So
some girls do.
Most of them don't.
We're just generalising.
Most of them don't. And that's been lacking from Star Wars so much recently.
Yeah.
When was the last time I remember a good space battle in Star Wars?
Rogue One.
Yeah. I mean, it kind of really is.
Yeah.
There was a little bit in at the end of Rise of Skywalker, but it was pretty bad. It wasn't good. That space battle in Rogue One is amazing.
Yeah, Rogue One to me is a masterclass on how to pay homage to stuff that's come before without ripping it off. And I really wish that more people paid attention to that.
So good. So good. So good.
Alien Romulus is a case in point. As much as I enjoyed the film, specifically the first half of it, the last half has
massive
far too many references to previous films.
Yeah, I think I'm with you. I think I liked the first half of Alien Romulus.
Especially as it was all practical for the most part. It was fantastic looking.
The second half, I'm like, maybe spend some more time developing the characters so I actually give a fuck. But yeah, I think that's kind of where I am. Take Space Marine 2. I'm sure there are girls playing it, because girls do play some computer games, and not all of them are playing Candy Crush. But
yeah, well, most of them are probably in Warcraft.
Massively reduced. Yeah, I mean, you used to play Warcraft a lot, didn't you? And I presume there's a fair few girls that play Warcraft.
Loads.
do they tend to lean towards a certain character or type, or?
I'd say generally they'd lean towards more being casters, but that might just be the ones that I knew.
Mm.
So I'm not really sure. I mean, two of the girls that I knew were gothic types, so they clearly both played warlocks.
Yeah.
Which was expected. I think I may even have known a warrior or a paladin. Not sure off the top of my head. It's been a long time.
Yeah.
Since I've actually had to think. There was one of them was a druid, which is a bit of everything.
Okay, yeah.
So,
because I'm just like, I mean, as I say, it's something that's puzzled me for a long time. Is the fact that if you change a thing to capture a new audience that may or may not embrace that thing, and you destroy that thing in the process, I don't think.
Fucked up.
I don't
yes,
think
you have.
Yeah, exactly. I don't think you've actually achieved anything. I think you've just destroyed something that was good.
The Acolyte is a case in point.
And yes, I think the Acolyte
tried to make it something that it wasn't, and you fucked up massively.
Yeah, and that's kind of what I'm thinking of is when I think
Rings
about
of Power,
it. And Rings of Power. You know, putting aside for one moment that the writing's dog shit, that you've compressed 2,000 years of Tolkien's lore into like the space of a weekend, forgetting all that kind of stuff. The fact of the matter is that the entire thing is folly from the start. You know, there is TV program out there that naturally appeals to women, like Kirsty, for example. She will watch more, that kind of stuff. And again, maybe
the wife loves it.
Maybe dudes and stuff love that as well. But from my experience,
it is interesting.
From my experience, most of them are actually gay. It's like the Eurovision Song Contest. Gays love the Eurovision Song Contest. I would personally view that as 3 hours of actual fucking torture.
It is fabulous.
It is not. But yeah, I just, like Kirsty hates Lord of the Rings. She hates it. She'll play Battle of Balin's Tomb with me, but that's only because she can be the goblins and she can try and kill Frodo. I'm not sure what Elijah Wood's done to her, but
clearly she didn't like Sin City.
I don't know if she's seen Sin City. Maybe I should show her it. Fucking love Sin City. Need to watch that again, actually. It's been a long time since I watched that film. But yeah, I say she's never really cared for Lord of the Rings. She thought The Hobbit was better because she really liked Killy
and Philly.
The guy who plays Killy.
Yes.
Can't remember his name.
You don't need to remember his name. It's fine.
No. But that's the reason. Or she likes some cute creature or something like. She doesn't give a fuck about female agency or anything. Do you know what I mean?
Oh.
And maybe that's just because Kirsty's not a massive feminist. Maybe I don't know. It's such a
minefield.
It's such a minefield, and it's such a hard thing to say anything about without somebody turning around and just going, "Oh, you fucking bigot." Well, now we don't have discussion, and when you don't have discussion, you just have echo chambers. But I've seen too many failed projects and stuff recently from various corporations for it not to be, a thing.
Yeah.
So yeah. So basically, yeah, you guys have been listening. Just let us know what you think. But keep it polite. Just don't, But I'm all for
ladies.
CHEBS. I'm all for people engaging in debate.
Yep.
At the end of the day, if you have a valid point to make, then you will be able to debate it. You'll be able to talk about it. You'll be able to give examples. You'll be able to, give a reasoned discourse, on why you feel your point is a valid one. And oddly enough, there was actually I was watching a stream with or a video with Outer Circle and Northern Exile.
Okay.
And they were talking about negativity in the Warhammer YouTube sphere.
Yeah. And actually, I used to watch Northern Exile stuff, but I stopped watching because I think he got a little bit too grumpy with it.
He has his rants, and I don't mind. I mean, I listen to him now and again.
Yeah. I think you've got more in common with him than I have because you both work for GW.
Yeah. He's probably closer to my mindset than he is yours because you do skewed towards the positive with most things.
Yep.
You cheerful bastard, you.
Only on the inside.
Outside.
It's not in the circle.
Macca. And he was talking to him about negative YouTubers and saying, look, they just tend to be like discourse, which is kind of just clickbaity, really over the top stuff, or they tend to be really, really, really positive because they're getting stuff from GW. And GW kind of picks these really, really, really positive because they know they're just going to flat out advertise their product for them.
Yeah.
And he was just saying that we kind of need to see some more balanced negative discourse on GW, where it's not just people going, oh, GW are cunts, blah, 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 blah. But at the same time, it's not people going, oh my God, GW just released this new thing. I'm going to lick their balls and say it's amazing.
Ain't got enough time. It's a lot of balls.
A lot of balls. Although not all of Games Workshop's got balls. There's plenty of ladies there as well.
I ain't getting into that. I'll get in trouble with the wife.
And I was just thinking, it's kind of like we do. I think we do skew a bit more. Like if you had a channel on your own, I think it'd be more positive than mine.
Yeah.
You balance me out, which is very, very noticeable to anybody who's ever seen one of the videos that I do on my own.
Yeah.
When Matt's not around.
You do it without me on purpose. You're like, I need to talk a lot of shit and I don't want anyone to argue with me. I'll just get this one done without him. And I'm like, fair enough. It's your channel, go for it.
You know, but Matt does, and the thing is, I really like that, Matt. I like the fact that I can go, oh, no, I fucking don't like that. And you can go, I do like that. Because, you know, it makes me go like, well, that's fine. You haven't changed my mind. And I don't like the fact, I don't not like the fact that you like it. But it's nice to hear another opinion.
Yeah. And I mean, let's to be fair, like we agree on a lot of stuff. We sometimes don't agree on stuff.
Yeah.
But even when we don't agree on stuff, there's still positive slants to the stuff that we discuss.
Yeah, I think so. And I would say that it's...
Unless it's something that we both don't like, then it really is bad.
Yeah. I would say what I would just say is that you are just more positive, especially when it comes to GW, than I am. You're more...
See, I've not worked for them, so I'm all right.
Yeah, there is that. Twice, technically. Actually, you know what? We're going to talk about that quickly. Have I talked about this before? How I've worked for GW twice?
No, but you're going to go on.
I'm going to, right. So the first time I worked for GW, I was kind of freshly out of college. So I was young, stupid. Went for an interview, got the job. It was actually before 3rd edition. This is about 6 months before 3rd edition came out.
You old git.
Yeah, exactly. So like 98, 99 maybe. I don't know. And, you know, back when you had like 5 years between editions, not 3. And we actually went to like a brainstorming thing. It was part of the interview where they were like, put your ideas across for how you would improve 2nd edition.
So we can nick them.
Well, to be fair, it was already well in development, so they didn't nick them. I think they just wanted to know what people thought. And I put a load of ideas across. I was like, I think you should put some more scenery in the box. I think you should get rid of the psychic phase because it slows down the game a lot, blah, 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 blah. And then after the meeting, they were like, look, you had a load of really like interesting ideas. And we just want to let you know that like nearly all the ideas you came up with are actually in 3rd edition. And I was like...
We didn't nick them from you. We're doing it already.
Oh, cool. Considering how much stuff GW nicked from me in the following years, allegedly, with my paint schemes and stuff, I was like, okay. So I ended up working with them, and I worked at 3 stores in total, including 2 flagship stores, Lakeside and Blue Water. And Blue Water, I basically worked there for the first year that it existed, more or less, and helped make that store. I will never...
Space Marine statue outside.
Big ass Space Marine statue above the door. I remember, I'll never forget giving the Sultan of Brunei's nephew an intro game with his bodyguard with full fucking gun and holster and everything standing like right next to him. Don't make him cry. Don't make him cry. Don't win the game. Don't beat him. No, he was a really nice kid. And then he bought like nearly half the fucking store. Right? He had these 2 massive bodyguards, fucking hulking like wrestler type dudes, just walking out with like 4 GW carrier bags each.
Nice.
Like the dude spent about fucking $4,000 or something stupid like that. It was ridiculous. So yeah, I worked at Lakeside, I worked at Bluewater, and I worked at Southend. And I was there for about...
Went down in the world.
Well, no, because I went, because I worked with Darren McAninch. And
no, down here, but Wayland.
Yeah, he did. He's Wayland's studio painter. And I worked at... So I started work at Lakeside, and then I went to Bluewater. And then when the hours... Because the problem about Bluewater is obviously it's in Kent, so it's the other side of the bloody thingy.
Bit of a mish.
Exactly. And what happened was the guy that I used to work with got fired. So by the time I got back from Bluewater, there was no way of getting home from Lakeside. Like, there was no bridge to the train station back then. We're talking about 23, 24 years ago now. So
yeah, you might have to explain to people that you had to go to Lakeside on the way home from Bluewater to get back.
Yeah. So basically, you've got to go across the Thames to get from Bluewater to Lakeside, and then get a coach or train. And it was normally a train, so you have to get to Lakeside car park or coach station, run across the car park, scrabble up a big muddy slope because there was no bridge to a train station, and hope you made the last train. Otherwise, you're stuck in Thurrock overnight. That's it.
That's not great.
And when they did Christmas opening hours and you had to cash up at Lakeside, that was bad enough as it was. But from Bluewater, it was nigh on impossible. So I ended up leaving Bluewater, going back to Lakeside. Then I went to Southend for a little bit, and then I went back to Lakeside. And I ended my career at Lakeside because basically it was bollocks and you get treated like shit. And that was my first stint of GW all over. And then I stayed away from GW for a little while, got out of the hobby, and getting back into the hobby due to a girlfriend that I met. Who actually worked at Games Workshop, which was kind of cool. And slowly got back into GW. I bumped into some mates, they were all doing GW stuff. I was like, oh, cool, get back into it. Started haunting GW Southend again. And then eventually, I ended up applying for a job. And the manager of GW at Southend at that time, I can't remember his name. I think it might have been Barry. It wasn't, Darren was long gone by then. I think it might have been Barry. Or, no, it wasn't. Oh, what's that guy's name? Charlie? I can't remember. They've had a few managers. Anyway, he was like, have you ever thought about going for like a management position? I was like, well, I can't drive or anything, so getting places is a pain in the arse. So unless I'm taking your job, no. Basically. And he was like, okay, yeah, whatever. And then I ended up going for a trial run at GW. It's like, look, we're going to put shirts on like 3 or 4 of you. You're going to do a free day of work for us that we're not going to pay you for. And then at the end of it, we're going to be like, okay, well, you've passed, you've not, kind of that type of thing. And I was one of the ones that passed. I was like, okay, cool.
You've done it before.
Yeah, I've done it before, exactly. It's easy. It's not hard to be a staff member, in my opinion, at GW. And it had changed massively in that time. Because I remember the first time I worked for them, it was always kind of money based, but it was primarily like we want to get people into the hobby. So you had the 10 Commandments, you had like focus on intro games, selling core sets and things like that. But the next time that I went there and got the job and then had my induction and got my folder and my uniform and everything like that, my blue shirt, there was like a training manual. It had 3 pillars of the hobby, and underneath those 3 pillars, it was just literally make money.
No.
So it was like hobby, game. It was like painting, gaming. I can't remember what the third one was, and then underneath it was just like make money. So it was quite obvious what their emphasis was.
Yeah.
So anyway, I had my induction. I think I did like 8 days of work, 2 days of work, and then they were like, "Look, this management position's come up." I think this is before the store opened in Basildon.
Yeah, that was relatively recent.
Yeah, so
in the grand scheme of things.
Yeah, in the grand scheme of things, probably 7 years ago now,
because
maybe.
They closed Lakeside.
That's right. Yeah.
Because they wanted to move the shop from the food court floor.
That's right.
To make it exclusively Omnoms.
Yeah.
And they wanted to move it down to the literal Lakeside bit, which is the bit where shops go to die.
Yes, exactly. That's it. Yeah, exactly.
So they moved it, and the rent was way more than previously, and the footfall traffic was shit.
Yeah.
So they closed the Lakeside shop, and they opened up Brentwood, which became my local because I worked in Brentwood at the time. But they opened up Brentwood and Basildon for less rent than what they paid at Lakeside.
Exactly. So it was to do the Basildon store, and they're basically like, look, what we want you to do is we want you to apply for a manager's position there because we think you can do the manager's position. And I was like, okay, cool. Yeah, like,
not too far.
I kind of know what I'm doing. And I was like, okay, cool. I was like, okay, let's do this thing then. They're like, cool. Okay, so the management interview is at Lenton. So we'll pay for your train ticket. We'll put you up in a hotel for the night. You'll do your interview, and that'll be absolutely fine. Absolutely fine. So this has got to be 10 years ago, and I'll tell you how I know it's exactly 10 years ago in a second. So bear in mind that I already kind of had the position as key timer. I don't think I went for full time. I'm pretty sure I was key timer at the time.
What does that mean?
So key time is basically part time. You work when they need you to work. So normally weekends, maybe covering like a gaming evening or something like that. Back when GW did actual gaming, like veteran gaming in their store, before they turned around and basically went, look, if you're an established player, we know we've got your money. You can fuck off. We just want newbies.
Yeah.
So I went up for the interview and everything like that. Got put up in the hotel, and I was all right. But then on the day of the interview, I woke up and I was so fucking ill.
Sick as a dog.
I was really, really ill. But I was like, okay, fair enough. Try and get this interview out of the way. So fucking man it up, dose up, whatever. Go in there, give like the worst interview I've ever given in my entire life. I think I was just like literally half fucking dead. And I was like, okay, and didn't get the job. I was just like, okay, yeah, I kind of expected it because I'm not in good form. I feel like absolute shit.
Yeah.
Go back to the hotel. I was like, okay, this sucks. I haven't got the job, but at least, they paid for everything and I can go back and I can just carry on being a key timer. And on the way home, I was even worse. And I was sitting in a train carriage and I was so ill with the shaking, the coughing, just generally looking like death, that nobody would sit in a train carriage with me.
No one sits near you anyway now.
And
I mean, I enjoyed the same thing.
it was swine flu.
Oh no!
I'd got swine.
I remember that.
I'd got swine flu. That's how I know it was 10 years ago. So surprised I didn't get a job, but I recovered and went back to GW. And the manager prick said, "You need to re-interview for your job."
Whoa!
And I was like, "What the fuck has changed here? What the actual hell?" Because I've got the fucking shirt and everything, so I'm already. I was like, okay. I was like, right, I don't like the look of this at all. Like, what's going on? But I was like, yeah, fuck it. I'll reapply for my job. So
setup.
It was a setup, yeah. So I did the whole interview process again, and before the interview, they have like the interview's not the most important part of it. They do like a team building exercise with other people. Like, they just want to see how you function and how you run a team and stuff like that. So I did all that, and I did exactly what I'd done before. And I was like, okay, great, yeah. So I did all of that, and then it came to like the assessment time, and we sat down, and it was actually a guy that I'd worked with at Lakeside called Ron, who went on to be the manager of GW Romford.
Oh, is he a bald guy?
He is now. He wasn't back then.
Yeah, I remember him.
And
that used to be my local when I lived in Hornchurch.
Yeah, I worked with him at Lakeside, and we sat down and everything. He was like, okay, yeah, we're not going to offer you the key time position that you've technically already fucking got, especially since you signed all the fucking document and the contracts and everything. And I was like, okay, why? What the hell have I done wrong? Because I've not changed personality in the last 2 or 3 weeks since, the last time. So what the actual fuck's going on? He goes, we didn't really feel like your heart was in it, and we had a lack of commitment. And I just sat there and I was like, you do realise not only have I interviewed for this job, I've got this job and done this job for just a couple of days or something because it was key time. I've then gone up to Nottingham, interviewed for a manager's job, even though I was half dead, and then come back to be told I have to interview again for this job, and then interviewed again for this job, and you're telling me I have a lack of commitment. And I was just like, I can't fucking believe this. Unreal. So I didn't get the job, and I just swore off GW. I was just like, no, fuck it.
Yeah.
And then I was just like, and I boycotted that store completely. I was just like, no, fuck you. I don't know what you've done. I don't know why you've done it. I don't know if you just needed somebody in to just maybe cover a particularly busy weekend or something. And then you're like, we can fuck this guy off. But I was like, I'm done. I'm done. And it wasn't until like much, much later that I got over that. And I was like, I could work for GW, but I'd like to work for them at head office in like a creative capacity, doing something.
Yeah.
Do you know what I mean? Like, sort of, because by then I'd worked for Roll for Dice Games. I'd done some work for Wayland, obviously. I ended up Wayland about 5 years after that. And also, that's it, GW. Yeah. So, so I had some experience. But GW is not the same company anymore. It's very obvious. Very, very different company now. And they want very different things. I'm probably too old for them now. If nothing else, they can hire some 20-year-old that they can abuse for half the price. But yes, technically I've worked for GW twice. So yeah, there's my story. As interesting as that is. Yeah. I don't think there'll be a third time, unfortunately, despite me trying to get in the door at Lenton for the first couple of years that I moved to Nottingham. Just didn't seem to happen. Very close to working on the web team. Very close. Apparently I was second choice, and there's just one guy who just gave more corporate bullshit answers than I did.
Yeah. If only.
Yeah. I'm not very corporate minded, guys, as you may have noticed. So yeah. Unfortunately, I have a tendency to say what I'm thinking, and what I'm thinking is generally not a not very complimentary or tactful thing. But no, it's good, man.
To ride, shoot straight, and speak the truth.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah, but no, we have fun doing what we're doing. We've been doing it for a year now. I was informed by YouTube that the year has actually passed, but I think what we'll do is I'll have a word with you, but we'll either do a special year video next week or we'll just do it as a stream when we do the preview, and we'll start like maybe an hour in advance. So you let me know what your availability is like.
It should be right next week.
Well, no, on the Saturday the 5th.
Oh, okay. Oh yeah, I'll let you know.
Yeah, let me know. Because if we can, maybe we start an hour early and we do an hour's delivering and then put the thing in, and we can do some birthday shenanigans and stuff like that. We did get a couple of questions from a few people.
We did?
Not much. Yeah, we did. It's in the post. I need to go and look at it. But yeah. So I think that's about it for tonight, though.
Yeah, seems fair. It's been a good stint. Like
we've blithered plenty, talked about all sorts of good things. Might gain a few subscribers. Might lose and upset a few subscribers, but that's the way of it.
Yeah.
On our quest to ultimate power, at the end of the day, authenticity is the key. We say what we say. We do not apologise for the way that we are. We are
not so much.
Old, grumpy. Matt's slightly less grumpy than I am, but at the end of the day, we are both grognards. And that's it. Until GW either impress us or fuck up next time, I guess.
Depress us.
Or depress us, yeah, exactly. I still want to know what this great big change that they're talking about is, because obviously with GW, hype is massive, and then it's just like, oh, was that it? But the fact that they're saying a big change is coming, I'm just like,
that's the rest of it.
What kind of change are you talking about? When are you going to reveal this change? What's your secrets? It's like Frodo. All right, keep your secrets. keep your secrets. But yeah, that's it from us, guys. I'll have this up in the next couple of days, as I say, before the preview, before the anniversary stream. So if you do have any comments and stuff, because one thing I will admit is, like, I did that female video, Custodes video, the review of CHEBS episode 2.
Yeah.
The one that went for like fucking 12,000 views, I think it's got now, nearly.
Enough views, fam.
A lot of views. And I mentioned Paul Sawyer in that, and you were the only person to say anything.
That kind of sucks. I didn't even know him.
Really sad for Paul, because I worked with Paul at Warlord, and I didn't speak to him loads, but he seemed like a nice enough bloke. Kind of old and grumpy as you tend to be when you've been in this industry and you get to that age. But obviously he was a massive part of the hobby for my hobby while I was getting into it. With White Dwarf.
The Fat Bloke Burger named after him.
Fat Bloke Burger, who was the fat bloke at White Dwarf, And I was just a little bit like, there was loads of comments on like the controversy, like, Games Workshop's woke, blah, 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 blah. But nothing about Paul. And I was like, okay, I kind of understand that, I might not get any comments about the anniversary because a lot of people are hitting us on the first time. I don't know if we have many regulars. We have a few, and we appreciate you all.
Hello, thank you.
We're not doing like memberships or any of that kind of shit. I might do some merch in the future when we get to 1,000 subs. But we do this because we have fun with it, Matt, and we like doing these talks and we like bouncing off each other and all that kind of shit, But for nobody to mention Paul, I was just like, oh, that's a bit sad, especially since the dude's going to be essentially dead within a year by the looks of things. So yeah, I just want to mention that really. But other than that, I think we'll leave it there, mate. you've got work. I don't think we have time for Space Marine 2 tonight, but another night.
Yes.
And as I said, Henry, you know, hit me up, bro. Hit me up, bro. We'll do some ops. It'll be good times. That's all you meant.
Actually, to be fair, in my old my old Warcraft guild with Carl, there was an alleged girl in that called, her character was called Raven, and she was a very decent player. To be fair, she was one of our healers and an off tank depending on the situation, but she never ever spoke.
Oh, really?
In voice comms, yeah. So I had a running joke with her, and I just started calling her Henry. I was like, "You're Henry Cavill, aren't you?" And it's just typing back like, "No, I'm not." And I'm like, "That's exactly what Henry would say." Now I know why you don't talk, because it will just out you straight away.
I bumped into him at Warhammer World.
Yeah, you said. Yeah, with his rather fine girlfriend.
With his very, very fine girlfriend, who I noticed first. That was the weird thing. I was walking back across from Bugman's, and we got to the bit where they've changed it all around now, but sort of near the entrance, and I just saw this really, really nice blonde woman, and I was just like, "Ooh, very nice." I kind of looked at her and she just smiled.
Cabinet.
No, I did not. I'm with Kirsty and everything, so I just got for a smile, not a kind of like, hey baby smile, but just a general smile, and she smiled back, and I was just like, she's nice, and I was like, she's standing next to Henry Cavill. And he was getting a photo of some dude, and I just walked over and I was like, dude, like, I was like, dude, do you play Heresy? You're fucking huge and really nice and cool and stuff. And that was it, you know. It's like, I'm not going to pretend we're best friends or anything like that. But yeah, it's just funny that I didn't notice him first. I noticed his missus. Damn it. But yeah, we'll leave it there. Henry, hits up, bro, and we will catch all you other guys later. Bye.
Latest chaps or chapesses.
Don't forget our 1% chapesses.
Yeah, or anyone else that is encompassed by just a thanks.
Indeed. Thanks. I think that's awkward enough now, dude. We better go. Bye.
Sorry.